is what you need. Because you do it like me. Because you know you like me.
Do I Intimidate You at South by Southwest?
Because you know you like me. Because you do it like me. Because you know you like me. Because you know the way you touch it.
And we're back. Do I Intimidate You South by Southwest version. This time, I'm interviewing this lovely guest. Go ahead and give it to us, girl. Name, give it to us.
Thank you so much, Rochelle, for having me. My name is Ash. I am originally from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I currently live in Vancouver, Canada. I work with a couple of different organizations. So over here, I am speaking and I am with Writing Change. So I am hosting a session on tote bag customization. So it's Writing Change. We are the world's leading ethical fashion youth-led, BIPOC-led organization. We have a global presence. So we are based out of Canada, but we have a presence in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and depending on the region, we do different work. So in North America, Europe, it's education centric, policy engagements. In Africa, we work with African youth to try and deal with the waste that's already there. We do things like textile dump site tours, just so folks can actually see what it's like.
You are involved in something major, right? In a major way. Within this position, what have you experienced in the workplace where people could be intimidated by you? Or maybe did you intimidate someone in your role?
The fashion space generally is not, especially, like the fashion weeks and all of that, they're not built for people that look like us.
No, never.
Like people
Never.
of color who are like,
No.
young people that are just
Correct.
sort of starting out. So we find that, especially when we're trying to create events, especially for young people, even like fashion students, they come up to us and they're like, these spaces are very exclusive. So we, even though, being part of the fashion coalitions out in British Columbia and all that, we get to go to Fashion Week. And it's very much like, oh, you're here, and
So it's not
we
well received.
It's not, and we're just there. We're doing the work anyway, because like at the end of the day, my mom always says that closed mouths don't get fed.
And they don't. They literally don't.
And so you just go out there and you just like put a brave face on and you say your spiel and like you get your work done. And it's just being from Asia myself, and the spaces are not created for you, and you just have to get in there and get in people's faces and don't think twice about it, I think.
Having that level of like tenacity, and I almost call it audacity, like
Yeah.
really, it's to push forward and to make sure that we're making a change. And I'm so glad you are heading there. It's so good that you stopped by to talk to us. Do you have any socials you want to give us?
You can follow us on @The Change. It's on Instagram, on LinkedIn. That's where we're most active. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. This was so good.
Great. Thank you
Let's
so
do
much.
a hug.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh my God. Do I Intimidate You South by Southwest? First of all, this is a positive story, okay? Now, most of our stories here are unfortunate, shocking, crazy situations, but this is a how I met story. So come on, girl, who are you? Tell me all about you.
Okay, my name is Janet Ferrone, a longtime educator, been in public school education for 40 years, came to South by Southwest last year, loved it. This year came back for the EDU conference and stayed through for this.
Good. So
Yeah, and I'm
welcome to
from,
the TV film.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, good. So let's get into the how we met story.
Love to. I just came from a viewing of the Carl Lewis movie,
Yep.
and I had seen Carl Lewis and met him in South Korea at the Olympics in 1988.
Okay, let's not skip past you're at the Olympics in 1988.
Okay.
What are you doing at the Olympics in 1988?
I was working in the Boston Public Schools, running a program for kids with a lot of behavior challenges, a lot of gang kids, urban kids that really had rough lives and needed some support. We won a lawsuit that I didn't even know existed, that we were underpaid, and I got $5,000. So when you're young and someone gives you that, I said, well, I need to go travel with this money.
Good for you.
And I had a limited 2-month trip planned that turned into 7 months, and I wound up going throughout Asia. A friend of mine said the Olympics are in Seoul. I'm going to be over that way. Why not? So I went. That was how I got the Carl Lewis and all that. But I kept going and going. And then one day I said, Malaysia. I don't know anything about Malaysia. So that seemed like a really good reason to go. So I showed up in Malaysia. I was in Thailand for a few months because Thailand's fabulous.
Gorgeous, yeah. Yep.
And before I left, this guy said to me, older man, he said, you going to Malaysia? He said, watch out for the men there. They're kind of charming. So, setting you up here. So anyway, I got to Malaysia, worked my way up to Kuala Lumpur, and folks said, oh, you just need like a day there, no big deal. So I planned for a day, went there, and when you travel alone as a small woman, I don't look like I'm going to hurt anybody. People, come over, talk to you. A group of Swedish women came over to me, made friends, and they said, hey, we're going to this club. Friend of ours is singing, if you want to join us. So I said, all right, I'm going out sightseeing for the day.
Fun.
See you later. So later came and I said, oh man, I'm exhausted. It's 100 degrees. I'm sweaty.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
leaving.
And that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I went to their hotel because we didn't have cell phones then. We didn't have all that. Went to their hotel and said, hey, thanks anyway, but I'm going to pass. So they gave me a matchbook and they said, well, if you change your mind, that's back when restaurants had matchbooks.
I remember.
So anyway, got back, showered, had a little food, and then 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, well, what am I doing? I don't have to go to work. What do you mean tired? So I went to this club that turned out to be an American country western bar in
Thailand?
In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with a Sri Lankan guy singing all the classics, You're Cheating Hard, Blueberry Hill. I'm like, what is this? But anyway, I learned that Malaysians and Indonesians love American country music. And a Tom Jones impersonator was there. I know it's sounding fake, but I got pics.
You had a night.
I'm there, and I'm with these blonde Swedish women. So the key to that is I always tell my husband, who I met that night, that if it wasn't for those blonde women, him and his friends would have never came over. He's a smart man. He says, oh no, I just saw you. But
Which I believe.
well, I think the blonde.
35 years later, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So we meet, and he lives there. He's a Malaysian Indian, so he's Indian descent. We meet, we go back to a club that he and his friends belong to. We went back to the Swedish woman's hotel room, partied all night. And then he said, you're leaving tomorrow night, but give me a call, I'll show you around. So the next morning, woke up, and, it was a long night of partying. I said, oh, he was cute, but kind of wiped out here. But then that shower works wonders. Showered,
You
called him
got
up,
the energy to go get him?
called him up. Took me around. Then he brought me to the train station for my 10 o'clock train.
Good.
We had dinner there, and he looked at me and he said, do you really have to get on that train? I said, no, I do not. So we wound up spending another day together. He brought me back to the train station the following night, where I sold my ticket to somebody else so I could stay in Kuala Lumpur.
I love this.
So I stayed with him for a bit, but this was my 7th month of traveling. I got
Nice.
word that my father's cancer came back, radiation was going on. So I said, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna head up to Bangkok where my flight is. And I stopped at this resort kind of town, Penang. And next thing I know, him and his friends drove up and met me. So we spent another weekend together.
I love this man.
And then I was supposed to keep taking the bus and the train back up to Bangkok. I got in the car with them, and I drove back to Kuala Lumpur, and then I flew
Back to
I scraped the money up, flew back so I could go back to the U.S. Went back, best decision, stayed with my dad for 3 months until he passed.
Good. I'm
Was
sorry.
with him every day. Yeah, thank you. And then we were writing those little love letters on that nice little, what do they call it, onion skin paper.
This is
Try- trying to call each other. 12-hour time difference. Had this little job. I would go to my aunt's house because if I waited till I got home, it was midnight and I couldn't call. He lived
You
at
could-
home.
yeah, because
Yeah. So anyway, we did this for a while. I went back to see him a few months later, spent a week. His best friend said, "Hey, what are you guys going to do? You got to get married." I said, "I've spent less than, not even 2 weeks with this man. I'm going to marry him." Flew back home, and within 2 months was at a new job saying, "I know you just met me and this is highly irregular, but I need a week off to marry a guy in Malaysia." So I flew back.
3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I had spent almost 2 weeks in person with him over the course of several months. So we got married in Malaysia, eloped. We didn't tell my family, his family. And then it took him 5 months to get a visa, which nowadays, that felt long then. Nowadays it's years. So I'm happy about that.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I came over here and we celebrated 35 years in November.
You know what? I needed to hear this. No, honestly, I needed
It's a little therapy after all the bad date stories.
That's so positive, but it's kind of, well, at least in my world now, it's kind of unheard of. Like, I wish that's amazing.
So that's my
story.
story.
What was it about him?
Well, I was 33. Turns out he was 25.
Okay. Oh.
But I had said, I don't think I'll ever get married. And I had a bunch of boyfriends. When they got really serious, you always hear like the women are wanting that ring.
Right.
When they went
I say that all the time.
in that direction, I was like, oh, no. And I'd break up with them. My fear was if I got married, I'd wake up the next morning and say, oh my God, I hate this guy. Get him out of here. I can't stand it. But when I saw this guy,
It worked.
it was really kind of a love at first sight. And I remember asking him something like, I didn't know how old he was. We didn't talk about that. And I remember saying, how come you're not married? And he looked in my eyes and said, well, maybe I just haven't found the right one yet. So, yeah, it was kind of cheesy now that I tell you.
No, it's beautiful because, look, the reason why I created this is because I don't experience that.
Yeah.
The people that I know don't really experience that. Men don't, or some men don't know how to communicate. It's a struggle in dating. And for you to have such a beautiful meet and marry story, it's giving me like hope. What would you tell to women, I would say, or anyone really, what would you tell to someone that they're looking for love and it's so quick, like within 2 weeks? Do you say go with your gut or do you wait it out?
I have a 25-year-old son, and we had not shared the pictures of this elopement because we had not told our families. But then his family found out my mom passed a few years ago, so I brought out the pictures. I remember looking at it and realizing, oh my God, my son is 25 and my husband was 25 when I married him. And I looked at my son, I put my finger in his face. I said, if you ever tell me that you eloped with a 33-year-old woman after knowing her only a couple of weeks, I will kill you. So my advice was
So he can't do what you did.
Exactly.
First of all, that was a beautiful story. It's needed because there's just so many shocking stories. That was so beautiful. Do you want to give us any socials on our company information?
At Janet Ferrone on Twitter and Instagram, same.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for stopping by. It's lovely. And congrats on 35 years?
Yeah.
So we are in the expo, and I just had to ask her, right? You are in a committed relationship now. Mm-hmm. Everything's going well.
Yeah.
What is the difference between this relationship and your previous that makes you feel this is the one or you're secure now?
So you said something to me right before we started filming, and it is exactly what you said. When you date someone who isn't on your level, I run my own company. I have success at a young age. I'm self-made, like serious hustler. I have dated people who do not fit into that world. And I have tried to make them fit in. And now that I'm in this relationship, this person fits in like a glove. And I realized looking back, wow, I really dated people. I don't want to say they were below me, but they didn't fit into my lifestyle.
But they are though.
Potential, probably.
Yeah.
I'll give them some credit. Because I got to this guy because of those guys. That being said, they didn't fit in. And I think that's a huge thing that I don't think people realize that. And it's not necessarily even about the money as it is like this person's values and like what they care about or how much money they want to make or what they want to do with their life. And that's what I really realized in what I'm in now.
Thank you for saying that. And so I struggle with the same thing, right? I struggle with the fitting in piece. I am very elevated, right? I can tell that we have that same energy. I have tried to force people in those situations and it doesn't work.
No.
There becomes a jealous component.
100%.
As an entrepreneur, as a boss woman, do you ever find yourself ever having to dumb yourself down with him? Or does he embrace you fully?
No.
And there you
but
go.
I used to, always. I used to with, I think, with my ex-boyfriend. Or I would feel uncomfortable bringing him to things because I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable. But also you have to think too, like, wow, that was a me problem. He maybe didn't even realize that I felt weird bringing him. But it was that my own insecurity or he did something that made me feel like, this isn't the right person to bring to this. So this guy, no, it's very easy.
How did you work through that? Like, how did you get that purity, if you will?
With him or with my ex-boyfriend?
With yourself. Like, how did you,
I think so much of it comes with just experiences. And I think also I was single for 2 years before this, after a really bad breakup. And that confidence and like the work that I put into my career and just having something that's 100% you, which is the best thing to do with a career.
Yes.
You're not waiting for the guy. So then when it comes, you're like, oh, but also if you went away, okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not relying on you ever.
I had to get to that point. I had to like decenter men, if you will. Like I was the one, I'm swiping on apps, I'm trying to figure it out, I'm going on these dates. These men don't match me.
They don't.
And like you said, I'm gonna say what we need to say it.
Yeah.
It's dating down.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and society makes you seem like, don't say that because you're judging. No. If I'm going to the Oscars, there's a certain person I can take to the Oscars.
Yes, exactly.
And you shouldn't judge me for that.
No.
Oh my God, it's just such a good conversation.
I know.
Do you have any socials you want to throw at us?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm on Instagram. It's Alexa_Curtis or Alexa Curtis Unfiltered. And then my company also is called Chief Swag Officer.
Wait, Chief Swag Officer?
Yes.
Chief Swag Officer, y'all. You are the girl.
I'm gonna get you microphone covers. I'm very excited.
Let's hug it out. I'm so glad you came. This was so cool. Swag Officer.